Okay, we're here in Bridgewater, Massachusetts for the SET activity, and what is your name?
My name is Kyle Avaney.
And your call?
November 1, Fox Yankee.
And just what is this facility here? What is going on here today?
This is the Bridgewater Emergency Operations Center for the town, and we're here today to participate in the annual Simulated Emergency Communications Test, or the SET drill. This is a drill that's coordinated between Amateur Radio Emergency Service, the National Weather Service's Sky One program, Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, and all the local emergency operations centers in the area to test out emergency communications in a time of any kind of activity that would create a disaster situation, whether it be a weather scenario or terrorist activity or whatever. Today's particular scenario is going to be a winter storm.
Oh, can you simulate all of this activity?
We do it every year. We've done search and rescue through the Miles Standish State Forest for downed plane or missing persons. We've done programs with the Pilgrim Nuclear Power Plant, simulating incidents down there that would require evacuations of personnel and school children in the Plymouth, Kingston, Carver area up to here. And we've done other public service events such as the annual Tri-Town parades and road races.
Yes, and is this to do with Aries and races?
This is a coordinated event between the Amateur Radio Emergency Service and races, as well as Sky One and Massachusetts Emergency Management.
What's the difference between races and Aries?
Aries is the amateur radio emergency service. That is, any amateur radio operator can belong to Aries as long as they've gone through some training and have emergency equipment to allow them to get on the air. It can be self-activating in times of an incident, where races is associated with a particular organization such as Massachusetts Emergency Management.
That can only be activated by the state?
That's correct.
Okay.
The National Red Cross. Any one of those emergency agencies can activate races.
Would that be more or less a more wide-reaching disaster of some kind? Or?
Yes, it would. And once a race's been activated, only races personnel can talk with each other and with these agencies.
But it's done on amateur bands?
It's done on the amateur bands.
Primarily 2 meters VHF or HF
2
also?
2 meters, 440, and HF are the primary bands that we use.
Okay. And this building here is in the center of Bridgewater?
This is the old Academy building, which is housing now the Emergency Operations Center downstairs. Used to house the police department, but they now have a brand new building that they've moved to. And there are other town offices in the building.
And your communication center is in the basement?
In the Emergency Operations Center downstairs.
Yes. Well, could you show us that?
Sure, why don't we go this way?
Okay, thank you. Right down, Carl.
Down to this connecting main center of town. The Operations Center is down here. Whenever the Operations Center has been activated and personnel have to come in, we do have a sign-in procedure where they have to sign in on the board in order to be checked into the Emergency Operations Center. All the various department heads from the town would gather to be briefed on whatever situation is going on, and then would be able to coordinate with each other for providing services to the town in times of an emergency. This is where they gather all the information and put their heads together.
This would be fire department, police?
Fire, police, Red Cross, the school department, Bridgewater State College, the director of the Emergency Operations Center, Herb Levin, who also is a ham,
KC1ZW. And then we also have representatives from the Pilgrim Nuclear Power Plant could come up here too and keep us appraised of things.
If there was a problem at the power plant?
At the power plant. And the town selectmen also, they have a cable set up in there where they could cut into the local cable channel and make announcements to the town.
Public service type?
Yes.
Okay,
This part of the EOC is called the Message Center, that if we were in an actual event that would require the full operation of the center, there would be runners in here that would be collecting messages between the radio room and the briefing room. What I call the heart of the Emergency Operations Center, at least for us, this is the radio room where I hang my hat for most of the time. We have a 440, 2 meters. We have a HF capabilities as well as an HF receiver to monitor additional HF frequencies. We have a packet station. We also have communications through computers through the experimental Internet Radio Linking Program, IRLP. And we also have the town radios over here, which include highway, fire department, police department, and mutual aid. We also have, in addition to the regular setup here, we have 2 emergency antennas up in the attic of this building, which is up about 60 feet in the air. If we had a bad storm that knocked out our primary antennas, we could easily switch over to the indoor antennas and really not lose any capability in communicating around to the areas we need to talk to.
Yeah, and you have 100% redundancy battery power here, also generators?
Yes, this building itself, the Emergency Operations Center, is tied into an emergency generator, gasoline generator. But if that happened to fail, we also have, down below here, we have 88 amp hour gel cell batteries attached to each of the radios, so that we could just easily switch over to them and run at least a week off of any one of those batteries for any of the radios we need to talk on.
Okay, and you have starting simulated emergency?
It should be starting in a few minutes at 10 o'clock.
Right, and you're going to coordinate this with the group in Taunton?
The National Weather Service in Taunton, through their SkyOne program, is going to be activating the set this time because it's going to be a winter storm drill. And KD1CY, Rob Macedo, will be making the initial call out to everyone at 10 o'clock.
Okay, very good, Carl. We look forward to seeing this.
Okay.
Complete this. Thank you.
N1FY with the W1MV repeater. This is a drill. National Weather Service has issued a severe storm warning for southeastern Massachusetts. At the present moment, they're anticipating heavy rains and wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour. And within the hour, they anticipate that the rain will turn over to snow, and we could get some heavy wet accumulations. This is a drill. This is a drill. We're asking all Aries and Races personnel to be monitoring this frequency for further reports as the day goes along. This is a drill. This is N1FY with the W1MV repeater and South Shore SkyOne. I would assume it's going to be the 7260 because that's what I'm monitoring, because that's southeastern Mass, but I don't think. Yeah, this is W1MV.
This is a drill. I am Mobile, Washington Street, East Bridgewater, southbound. High tension wires are down in areas. Roads are still passable. Tree limbs are falling. Some of the side streets have pretty good sized branches laying on the road. End of transmission. This is a drill.
This is a drill. W1MV. Thanks, Gil. Do you have an estimate on the size of the branches that are down?
4 to 6 inches. This is a drill.
Received. Thanks, Gil. W1MV. This is a drill. This is a drill, though.
W1GMF, W1MV. This is a drill. This is a drill. Gil, could you give what town your report is from, southbound on Washington Street? W1MV.
Roger that. This is a drill. Southbound Washington Street, East Bridgewater.
Understand report was from East Bridgewater, W1MV.
W1MV, this is W1JOE for the test exercise. Driving southbound down Belmont Street, which is Route 123. Large limbs in the street, telephone and power lines down. Nothing arcing at this time. Size of the limbs is between 6 to 8 inches.
This is a drill. This is a drill. W1JOE, W1MV. Copy southbound on Belmont Street, Route 123. Limbs are down. Telephone and power lines are down. No arcing. 6 to 8 inches. W1MV.
WX1BOX, W1MV.
Hi Carl, we're here. Wild storm here. A lot of reports. This is a drill. Go ahead.
Okay, I have 2 reports for you and a request. 2 reports. This is a drill. 10 minutes ago there were high tension wires down in East Bridgewater and many 4 to 6 inch limbs down.
And we'll be right with you. This is National Weather, WX1BOX.
Yeah, W1MB, WC1MAB. Good morning, Carl.
It's the Erie
Framingham has asked me to have all EOCs advise of EOC status and shelters open and available. This is a drill. WC1MAB.
But if we got you here, just have some propagation data for you. Stand by one. Okay, this is National Weather Taunton. Go ahead. Yeah, so you're copying loud and clear. We have a lot of traffic on the station here, so we're kind of bouncing back and forth. We are monitoring here for the moment. This is National Weather Taunton. Okay, WX1BOX, National Weather Taunton, Falmouth EOC. Be advised, real propagation data for you from N1VUX. He indicates the maximum usable frequency is 8 megahertz for NVIS. And he also advises that there is no ducting going on at the present time. Copy?
For NVIS, and there is no ducting on VHF, UHF. Falmouth EOC, K1WCC.
Yes, Frank would be interested in that data. That's why we're passing it along, and that's real data. This is National Weather Taunton, WX1BOX. Snowfall and coastal flooding. This is a drill. This is only a drill. WX1BOX, National Weather Taunton. Received waterfront flooding and evacuation in progress due to wastewater treatment plant closure. Is that correct? This is National Weather Taunton, WX1BOX, continuing to look for reports of strong winds, wind damage, heavy snowfall reports across the southeast and western Massachusetts areas. This is a drill. This is only a drill from National Weather, WX1BOX. Okay, be advised, I've just received information from National Weather Taunton. We are upgrading southeastern Massachusetts to a blizzard warning. I repeat, a blizzard warning is in effect for southeastern Massachusetts for the remainder of the event. Based on spotter reports of near blizzard conditions, a blizzard warning has been posted. Total snowfall accumulation of 1 to 2 feet with drifts as high as National Weather, WX1BOX.
W1MV, received and acknowledged. This is a drill.
This is National Weather, WX1BOX, continuing to monitor.
We're at the National Weather Service radar here in Taunton, Massachusetts, and what is your name?
Rob Macedo, KD1CY.
And just what are you doing here, Rob?
Today we're doing a drill on an early season snowstorm. We do drills roughly 3 times a year in the eastern Massachusetts section, and this is the last drill for the 2003 season. From here at National Weather Taunton, we are fielding reports from across the state of Massachusetts, from both the western Massachusetts and eastern Massachusetts area sections. Based on these reports, the forecasters here at the National Weather Service would give reports get these reports out to the media. They would also issue warnings based on this information.
Okay, and this is where the big radar is. What is the range of the radar?
The Doppler radar has roughly a range of 248 miles. It's located across the street from the Weather Service office. And the radar helps them obviously get a lot of the information that they need, but it doesn't see down to the ground level, and that's why spotters are a very important need, particularly for summertime severe weather, but also in the winter to determine the rain snow lines, snow accumulations, and also coastal flooding.
So the mobile amateur radio operators are very important in this?
Both mobile and home stations. It's important to have home stations that can run nets and handle traffic to give to the weather office, and it's also important to have mobile stations that are actually out in the field seeing the damage as it happens. It's also important to have EOCs active, because they are the hubs that actually can get the information directly from public safety.
Now, how many EOCs? We were at the Bridgewater EOC. How many do you communicate with from here?
Well, there are several across the entire section I know that are active, including the Region 2 headquarters, also the Mansfield, Norton, and EOCs were active today. We also have a amateur radio club, the Southeast Massachusetts Amateur Radio Association, which has basically an EOC type of station there with tremendous capabilities to communicate across southern New England and quite honestly across the country.
I notice you're talking on 2 or 3 radios at one time. Does that keep you busy? It must keep you pretty busy.
We're kept real busy here. At times we've had as many as 2 and 3 operators. So having the 2 or 3 operators helps, but even then it can get quite busy here. The other thing is we have to monitor a lot of different frequencies at the same time with just a couple of radios, so it makes it a big challenge for the amateurs that come into the office to be able to handle all the information.
And this is good training for everyone.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And amateurs enjoy coming in and supporting their served agency.
I hear the radio calling you.
Yes,
okay.
Time to go.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, we're at the National Weather Service here in Taunton, and this is one of the employees. Are you an employee at the National Weather
Yes,
Service?
I am. I'm a senior forecaster on duty here this morning.
Yes, and what is your name?
My name is William Babcock, and I'm a meteorologist for the National Weather Service.
Okay, and could you just tell me what these screens are behind you and what you do here on a daily basis? Okay,
the screens behind me are one of our workstations where we put together the forecast every day. In fact, at all hours of the day. We have forecasters stationed here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Sundays and holidays included, because obviously the weather doesn't stop to go to sleep. And what we do is we go through literally hundreds of maps of weather information and try to put together a clear idea of what's going on, and then we draw further maps that get ingested into a computer, which translates all that into the forecast that you hear on the radio. 7 days. That's the routine forecast. In addition to our forecasting duties, we also issue severe weather warnings, and that's where the amateur radio component comes into play, because the information that we get from amateur radio aids us in issuing those timely warnings that can alert people as to oncoming dangerous weather.
Yeah, and even just a local report, the weather could be different from 4 or 5 miles apart?
Easily. In a snow situation, for example, snowfall amounts can differ over small areas. Spots where you might get a heavier downpour of snow could easily pick up several inches more than a place several miles away. Knowing these things and being able to compare that information, that real world information, with the virtual world information from the Doppler radar, lets us do our job better and serve the public better.
So it's a meeting of the minds between the amateur radio operators and the National Weather Service.
Exactly, bringing the best of both worlds.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
KA1VAX, this is National Weather Taunton, WX1BOX. Copy that you are securing. Thanks very much for your participation in the drill. Betsy, if you could just send me an email with any other hams that participated out of your area, I would appreciate it. And thanks very much. This is National Weather, WX1BOX.
Break from construction apparently, and the gas company is on site and has shut off the leak. They have the whole area cordoned off, and we have one shelter open. But at this point, all the people that have been evacuated seem to have gone to friends or relatives' house. So we don't have anybody at the shelter at the moment. So it looks like we got it under control. We're going to man here for another little while and before we secure, but it looks like we're doing okay with it.
I'm just a little peon.
Can you tell me what's going on here?
Gas leak.
Yeah.
The Bay State gas struck a pipe.
Oh, there was construction going on? Oh, okay.
That's about all I know.
Have they fixed it?
They're working on it.
They're working on it.
on shutting it down.
Okay. Can we go down in there or not?
No, if you give me a couple minutes, I can find out for you. So
Just want to take some video. I'm working with the EOC up here at the Bridgewater, the emergency, and we were up there taking video, and then this thing happened. They were doing a practice, simulated emergency, and we went over to the Taunton Weather Bureau where it was the net control, and when we came back, they had said they had this gas leak. They had a real emergency.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I've been back there. I don't know what they've told Jack, whether people can go down or not. So as soon as he comes back, I can give you an answer.
Okay, good.
I don't think it'll be.
Back up 300 feet.
Okay.
So I just that's what 300 feet.
Yeah. Okay. We will.
Yeah.
How can you give us the latest update and what's going on?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, there is a major gas leak happening over in Bridgewater by the college, the state college. At this moment, they have the whole area cordoned off, and we believe that the gas has been shut off. A number of residents have been evacuated from the area, and we have one shelter open. At this point, it sounds like everything is starting to get under control, and they're working towards repairing the leak. We're still at standby, though, at this point.
Yeah. How long do you think this will be before you can shut down and secure?
I just talked to the Emergency Operations Center director, and he says it's going to be at my leisure as to be my call as to how long to keep the team active. They are going to keep the shelter open for a couple more hours just in case people need to come there. But right at this point, it looks like most people have gone to family or friends to stay with.
So it was a successful drill.
It certainly was. It shows that amateur radio is ready to respond at a moment's notice.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks a lot, Tom.